Well, hello. You are watching Gmodism channel. This is your host Eric, and we're back with a little video with a little update. I actually intended to post this video yesterday, but here we are. So yeah, it's a Monday, and I have now updated the files for the commissioned officers. So that means all Patreons get the updated files. It's kind of a big change. I did restructure the entire folder structure. Actually, let me show you. So the folder structure is now completely different. I revamped it from like scratch basically. And you can see I include a underscore before each name, so that means every folder has changed the name. If you're a commissioned officer in the army of Gmodism, I suggest you remove, re-download all the files, just remove the old files and replace them with the new ones. That's the most simple things. A few items have been removed, but they're kind of not important, so maybe you want to save a backup. But just to let you know, if you're a commissioned officer, definitely do a complete re-download, because the new structure is much better. It's much easier to find stuff. And I applied this to sub-objects as well, so you can see the readability here is just so much better now. So that's a big tip for all of you, to have an underscore before and after. That way the like brackets won't collide with the names, so the readability will be a lot better. Anyways, as many of you know, I am making this big fleet to tackle the Nether. And I played this game since like 2015, and it was long ago I even made an attempt at a campaign. At that time I thought it was kind of hard, but then I just got interested in min-maxing, so I actually have no idea how hard it is. Now the fleet isn't completely done yet, but I figured it would be a fun idea to just showcase to all of you what ships we have currently in the fleet, how they look, so that you basically know a little bit more about the style in the army of Gmodism. Just for fun, I just wanted to take a little look at all of the ships, because I recently took a little look at them all. You may notice this. What is this, you may ask? Well, you know the decals I have been complaining about, that they don't work because my Imgur collection got, I don't know, reported or whatever? Well, you see this? gmodism.com/media AOG whitemark. I'm self-hosting the images now. All of them. They're self-hosted. Can't remove them now, Imgur. Take that. So yeah, that took a long time to like fix all of the decals, upload them, host them on the homepage, make everything work. Yeah, I moved the host. I moved the homepage to a new host I haven't used before, so they basically offer some better speeds and stuff like that. I set up like some Cloudflare DNS protocols and whatever, so that it will be the image files and everything will be like internationally accessible the best way possible. I did work hard on this. Hopefully it works. It seems to work so far, so that's good. And of course, I have not only updated the Army of Gmodism officers files, I have updated the Steam Workshop files, because you can imagine that this thing, the Gimle, all the images were like replaced with some Imgur this file is missing stuff. So for each and every ship that used the Imgur images, that's basically all of the ships, I had to redo it. I had to repost the images in all of the holoblocks one by one. And you can imagine that took some time. That means that I have updated the existing file on the Steam Workshop page. So if you're subscribed to any of my assets, like the Gimle class or other ships, you need to re-download them. Unfortunately, From the Depths doesn't have a useful Steam integration at all, so if you want to have an updated version of a file on the Steam Workshop, you'll have to just simply re-download it. So anything that you might have subscribed to on the Steam Workshop from me, please re-download it and save over the previous file, and you will get the working image files. Also, some very tiny hidden small fixes that were some small issues on various ships I have been fixed too, but they were kind of, I didn't bother writing them down, so yeah, re-download stuff, thank you. And that will be quite splendid. And while you're at it, do leave a 5-star rating review on the stuff you have downloaded from me, then I will be very happy. It's fun. Anyways, about that, do like this video as well. That helps a lot, of course, it helps the channel. You may have noticed there have been a little bit low on content lately, and if you're interested about that, I posted some messages on Discord and some video explaining that a little bit as well. So we're back now, it's the most important part, so yeah. That's the more important part. So I'm going to continue making the videos. That means, of course, continue on the Yamato project. I'm so sorry we have so much delays in the Yamato refit project, but you know, sometimes stuff happens, and yeah, at least we are continuing on it, so fear not. In any case, I think we should be checking out the gmodism.com homepage. It is not 100% done, I'll need to fix a few things more, but it's basically done enough, so I would like you to check it out. I really try to make it a fun and new type of experience to go to this site. Yeah, I don't know if you will think it's fun. The house you go to home, of course. Sorry about that, return is just backwards. Anyway, so I have a completely different navigation. I built the site using some plugins from scratch basically, so it has a lot of custom CSS code. Man, I think I may, as I always do, I tend to spend a little too much time on minor details, but hopefully you will notice that. So here we have some like current news and stuff, so that's cool. You can click on Get in Touch. So you can go to like our subreddit here if you want to, and that's in a new tab, yeah. You can even like join our Discord here. You can even like send a contact email, and you can go to our like X page, it's not called Twitter, if you want to have some updates and stuff, because I made it so that my like videos, when I post a video, it gets posted on X as well, so it doesn't matter if it's a Twitch stream, a YouTube video, or if it's from any of my 3 channels, you'll get a notification there, which can be pretty smart. And if you haven't noticed this, the YouTube community page is a good place for making polls and stuff, so I do a lot of polls there, so if you didn't know, you can check it out. And I also listed some official but less used accounts here. Of course, the Steam one is pretty used, but I have other links to my collections there. So here we can see some other like shortcuts to our channel's commissioned officer, the Imperial Store. Anyways, if you go here, you can go to the support page. So here we can join the government of Gmodism. I did set up this new support option, and this is like the best support option for me. It doesn't offer as many integrations. So what this basically gives is if you want some like discounts on our store, and if your most important thing why you want to support the channel is like general support, this is the best option for me, because this one basically takes very, very, very little in between money. They don't require many percentages like the other options on YouTube and Army of Gmodism on Patreon does. So that's really cool. So if you want to give general support to the channel, well, this is the new place. And if you want to have member recognition, well, I'm gonna set this up so that you will get a member recognition every video. So if that's most important, check out that. We have the, whoops, clicking on OBS now. We got the, well, the Army of Gmodism on Patreon here, of course. Yeah. And we got the Ecclesiarchy. And that's of course YouTube, if you want to join YouTube like that.
So you want to become
like over-voicing myself. And of course, we're gonna get back to a Twitch stream. I feel I always say this, but honestly, I really want to. So obviously we have like a Twitch sub option here for those that are most interested in the live experience. Yeah, and then we got like 2 are different stores like this, where this is of course the most important one, but this store honestly has some of our, according to me at least, coolest projects with, you know, the desk mat here, which is nice, and the flask, yeah, that is not available. It's like a specialty store, but the things that are here are nice, I think, especially the desk mat. Anyways, there is of course like the donation options too, if anyone wants that. There is like that. Yeah, but please like check out this site yourself. It would be fun if you could just take a little look at this site and say what you think, because of course I spent a lot of time on this. We got a new IP to our Garry's Mod server, by the way. And here's like a list to all of the different assets that anyone can get. And naturally, the Steam Workshop downloadables. Oh, I just uploaded the Gimle After Party, by the way. So if you have struggles running the Gimle because it lags too much, this version, while losing against the Gimle in single combat, it's pretty strong and it has so little sub-objects. Captain Y refitted it like a good while ago, and it was participating in a special tournament, and that tournament didn't allow a lot of sub-objects, so that's why it happens to be a very low lag. Yeah, so that's fun. And to finally get to it, here is the Army of Gmodism media asset library. So here you can see we got all of them uploaded, looking pretty neat here. So obviously I have listed the link to them for simplicity, but you can always just click on something, just right click and copy image address, and you'll get the image address. You can use it in from the depth, so that's pretty neat. We listed our content here on nice little slabs like this, so stuff like that. But please check out the homepage and tell me what you think about it. I would like to have some feedback before I consider it done. Yeah, okay, so I didn't mean for this video to be like a showcase of my homepage, like that much. Maybe I'll cut some parts away, I don't know, but anyways, hopefully you like it, but do please check it out. I didn't mean to spend that much time on it though. I guess half of you aren't watching or not even watching anymore, but whatever. Let's proceed and check out the Army of Gmodism's fleets. Ooh. By the way, I have started to work on the Mark III of the platform. It's super secret, work in progress right now, so I won't tell a lot of details about it, but it's gonna be pretty cool. So here we have the folder with the fleets. So these are basically all of them are available for the commissioned officers, of course. I can't upload entire like folders of fleets, however, to the Steam Workshop. I can make collections, but I can't upload them in a pack like that. So a lot of these vehicles are individually uploaded to the Steam Workshop if you want to check it out. The Sword of the Ecclesiarch, that is a little special force, which I won't show you right now, but basically me and another person in the AOG, we will be participating in the Promethean Directive, a minigame thing. Or not mini, it's pretty complex, but it's basically from the depth-based board games. More info about that later. Not for the faint of charts. Yeah, funny. Gmodism, that's not really funny. Right, so we're gonna start off strong, or at least expensive, not really strong. This is the really big super battle carrier. This is the build we built for Admiral Wang Ryujin a long time ago, our first admiral in the army of Gmodism, if I recall correctly. It does look cool, it's really big, and it's not particularly super strong for its cost, because I admittedly wasn't that great at From the Depth when making this, so it is slightly better than Draconia tech, I would suspect, which is not epic, but of course it's acceptable. It will hand anything. It will have all of the in-game designs, it's as, of course, naturally. It also costs 6.5 million. Yeah, so it works. It's pretty hardcore, but hey, it looks cool. And this super battle carrier's name is Ryujin then. Also, it carries a lot of attack swarmers. So this is the Storm attack swarmers. This is like the fleet lead that basically takes command and has some support weapons. That actually marks out the targets to help these guys, the regular wingmen here, deal the damage. They're equipped with a big diff gun, so they deal a lot of alpha strike damage. So the thought is that you're basically swarming the enemy ship with a lot of diff guns. The armaments we got here is mainly, what is it, 5 really big railguns. These railguns are kinetic railguns, the best type of railguns. They're absolutely very scary. They're very scary. On the side we have a lot of sieve systems, diff sieves to be specific. We got some big lambs too. We got interceptors, we got basically everything. We got interiors, we got flak cannons here in the back. We even have a little separator attached drone, so this drone will disattach when there is an enemy and will basically provide better aim points for all of the connected targets. So that's a little fun mecha thing we got there. We got this crazy huge missile turret as well that delivers very big missiles straight into the face of the enemy. Scary stuff. Well, we got a little super fun thing on this also. When we actually have an enemy, now I'm a little bit afraid that it will lag a little bit, but let's just spawn a tiny thing so you can see it in action. Oh god. It lags so much when all of the ships are launching, but when an enemy is detected, the bridge is retracting. My god, my game, I fear my computer will crash. Okay, I removed that thing, because if I think a little bit more closely, it actually doesn't, it's manual. Yeah, there are far too many lights on this thing too. Maybe I should do a Mark II someday. Anyways, what we basically do is we click a button and the entire bridge will retract into the safety of the innards of this ship, which means that, you know, the captains and admirals and rear admirals and commodores and everyone that could be aboard this ship is safe and sound inside the innards of the ship and not exposed up here. Oh, and another thing that lags super much, video screens that gives a live feed of the ship. Yeah, so this ship has some cool interiors too. It's on the workshop, it's updated, so you can download it and check it out if you are so inclined. Oh, and it's really cool that this thing is like, you know, not docked by a docker or things, stuff like that. It's actually attached physically to the ship when not in use. The only issue is that it doesn't reattach automatically. You'll have to do that manually here with some buttons. But that works. Well, give it up for the Ryujin, a super battle carrier that desperately needs a less laggy version. But perhaps you have a supercomputer that's better than my laptop, and if you do, feel free to have some battles with it. Next fleet or force is moderately exciting. It's like my more recent saves of my very old adventure mode attempts. Yeah, so you've seen them, maybe. So then I participated in the Newbie Rumble 17. So yeah, I played the game for some time, but I couldn't participate in the Newbie Rumble because apparently you're not considered a noob if you haven't participated again like previously, which I hadn't. So they have some special rules which my ships could definitely make more use of. So they were not set up the most optimal way. I did rush them a little bit, and I did honestly put most effort in to make sure they look nice. Then I upgraded them a little bit later as well. So these are rebuilds of the Reed class light cargo cruiser. Well, they didn't make it that far in the tournament. They had some issues and stuff. Yeah, they spent... Yeah. I think EMP was banned in the tourney, but they are still EMP proof and stuff like that. I upgraded them a little bit afterwards, however. So I kind of like these rebuilds. I think they are... I actually don't know if this is better than the original Reed class. I probably need to check that. Yeah. In any case, this is the Reed light cruiser. So it's the Mark II of the Reed, and it's then a light cruiser. Then we have a rebuild of the Mark II light cruiser, which is of course a carrier. So this is the Reed carrier. It's significantly cheaper. So this is 112,000, and this is 73,000. It offers much lighter armaments. It has a cram cannon that has timed fuse, so it's like a cram cannon, 180 degrees, I think it was. And then we have the adapted, because it wasn't legal, but my quick adaptation / fix of this beautiful bomber, which you see from the trial season 1. And so nobody forgets, it is built by Jono, Matros second class Jono. Submitted this design, and it was one of the better designs. So that's why it's earned a spot in the Army of Gmodism fleet, and now we have it on top of here mounted. This is an adapted version, however, because we needed to make it, well, abide by their tournament rules. Yeah, and these are not exactly the ships that participated in the Newbie Rumble. Good to know. But just slightly fixed, upgraded version of those, so. I'm actually a little bit curious. So I spawned the Reed class Mark I. This is a cargo light cruiser. So it actually also doubles as a cargo and mining ship. So it has like miners, so it will passively pick up materials when it's not in combat. And it's a little bit updated, so it has some neat interceptors and stuff like that. Yeah. So I actually don't know which one of them is better. The Mark II does have a rotating decoy that will confuse missiles, mostly, that are radar guided or heat guided. And will also confuse lasers if they target the hot blocks onto this instead. They will not deal a lot of damage to the ship itself. Ooh, the Mark I Reed class is a bit more powerful. I think, if I recall correctly, the upgraded or fixed version or for the tournament doesn't have shields or stuff like that, because I think it was banned or something. Not 100. Well, I had to change some stuff to make it weaker anyways, that I know, so I'm not surprised by the results. Then we have the Holy Metropolis Protector fleet. These are insanely large, the S. Davidos. Here we have the afterparty version of the Gimle, which you can check out on Workshop too. The S. Davidos is also updated on the Workshop. Oh no, I spawned it in as lightning hoods. Well, in any case, just to check out a little bit quickly, we have Captain Y made this super funny thing where they kind of clean up this messy party. And other than that, it looks very similar, but a lot of the turrets, like this one, is actually not a real turret because it's very low on sub-objects and stuff. Well, so this is like the lag-friendly Gimli. This thing is my thickest battleship to date. This is the S. Davidos Mega Super, like Titan battleship, basically. It's a super battleship, apparently, and it looks like crap. I know. It's only made to be somewhat effective, and then I hastily try to deco it a little bit. Yeah, but it's really strong, and I'm not sure, but I don't think it has ever lost against anything that has a higher cost per that has equivalent cost. I don't think it has ever lost against anything that has equivalent cost. It has defeated some really big strong ships by well, Suzu likes to build really big ships, so we fought some of the ships she built, like the Juno and well, an array of ships anyways. It's pretty strong. It's not very interesting to look at though. Just has some cool turrets, that's all. But if you want something extremely strong to fight, I would recommend that one. Then we have the Constabulary of Gmodism, which we built for Admiral Scooby-Rocks. So this is the State Trooper observational drone, or a reconnaissance drone. And this thing, I think it looks pretty cool. It's of course not super strong because it's not able to be that evasive, but its main function is actually to provide and share aim points and stuff like that, which it does pretty neatly. Then we also have the officer, which is a very small little jet fighter, and I'm actually gonna upload these to the workshop independently because I feel they deserve independent uploads as well. Not to match it against anything that may in particular be matched in any regard, but just to see them in action. You can see they are making a mess of this, and here we have the beautiful laser controlled missiles from tubes like that. It's just doing its thing, vibing in the sky, firing some guns. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. These like black medium distance rockets feel really cool. Like the menacing black smoke is just a nice little addition. Very nice. What is uploaded to the workshop, however, and now updated as well, so we are using working decals, is the Constabulary main items. The Deputy Sheriff, which is a completely super scary thing that will dive in and deal insane amounts of Alpha Strike damage. And the Deputy Sheriff is essentially a real big Alpha Strike system. It contains a big charge laser and a charge plasma system and has some funny quotes in context, and it will just go close to the enemy and unload. It also has some diff guns for auxiliary firepower, a constant stream of incendiary missiles, some bigger torpedo combo missiles so that it can also target submarines as well, and yeah. It also has a sign movement, so it bobs up and down when we have enemies in the vicinity, so that it's less likely to get hit. And then we have the Sheriff, and the Sheriff is the main thing. This is a carrier, a super battle carrier. It's a lot of big guns naturally. The main systems are actually not these ones. It is the plasma cannons right here. We got some pretty strong plasma cannons. They are really expensive. This ship is really expensive. It's 4.2 millions in cost. And that's of course because we have so much plasma. We've got side charge plasma systems. We got diff guns here. We got a lot of laser outputs. And some really funny stuff here, because of course in From the Depth, most enemies are actually AIs. So the thought is that the incarcerated or extracted AI cores they can just be stored in a shelf like this when they have been picked out of the vehicles, so that we can take these brains to be prosecuted. Isn't that neat? But of course, we got some traditional dungeons inside of here, naturally, if we would meet something that's not an AI. I got a little bit lost, but here they are, simple cells. Got a pretty fancy big bridge here with some controls and a lot of mood interiors. And naturally it carries the fighters and stuff like that. And I don't know why we started a battle here, but we're not gonna start battles with everything, naturally not. But of course, it will do short work of the crossbones, that's for sure. And now we get in here, getting some action with this Alpha Striker that also has some revolving blast guns. Yes, of course, because when things are burning, they're a little bit weak to that stuff. Very neat. Yeah, and this is just constantly outputting plasma and laser damage. Very scary. It can be debated how good it is for the cost, however. I haven't made proper comparisons. It's 4 million, but it definitely loses against the S. Davidos, which is 6 millions and very min-maxed. This is looking pretty neat, you see. See, it goes up and down like this to avoid cramps and stuff. Tries to, at least. It's pretty slow because it's very big. Or I wouldn't say slow necessarily. This big thing goes at like 80 meters per second, so you know. I think it can go faster actually. 100, yeah. 100. Well, that is the Constabulary of Gmodism, however. Then I think we're gonna check out the very tiny first chapter Wasteland Domination Force. Now, this is my early collection of stuff to use in the what is it called? Ashes of the Empire. But then I've also heard that Ashes of the Empire isn't great. I don't know. I hope it is. But so I made an outpost. It's pretty long ago actually, but it's fun. It's an outpost. It's a small little station. It looks cool. It's neat. It's an outpost for the Wasteland campaign. It has a cram cannon as well. I don't have a lot of vehicles for it. I did make a howitzer, so we got a howitzer here, a cram howitzer. Very cute. And then I did put the Captain Wise bomber, or a version of it, inside of here too, just a little bit adapted to deal with this land. So I think it looks beautiful, so I wanted to have it somewhere, even though it wasn't among the best performing ones in performance-wise, but you know, we had to have it somewhere. So yeah, that's the tiny first chapter of Wasteland Domination field. Of course, he be thinking it's loud. Now, then we have the 5th chapter, Intergalactic Industrial Expedition Force. This is a readaptation, cook-up of a lot of previous designs to put together some type of participation. It actually ended up with a lot of forces, but whatever, for the library. So the Great Library is a, or should I say was, I don't know, a basically like a easier version of the Promethean directive. However, it is, well, I guess the people that are running it don't have as much experience as the ones that are holding the Promethean directive. So it's a little bit understaffed and the rules are a little bit work in progress. So I don't know, the Discord seems pretty dead. I don't think it's... I hope it will continue, since I did put together this, but it's been dead for some time now, so we'll see if the Great Library come back. But we got the forces for it as well. So I think that holo shields or like projector shields were banned. So basically all my designs that are submitted to it have the shields removed, so they're weaker in that regard. Some designs are actually better. This thing is a good bit more quick, actually, I think, than the original croquette, so that's cool. We have some adaptations, so for the Filke challenge, Setup / E-Lord, maker of the Turtle Lord, made this beautiful little version of the Filke. And I just had to take some interiors and stuff like that and upgrade the looks of this. Among a lot of interior assets Setup also made, actually, but I made it look a little bit more neat, so threw that in there. In the Great Library I got that perk, I got the fun perk which makes it super cheap for me to spawn ships that are built by wood 40% or more, which basically had me look deep in the folders. So we have another Filke participant, which is Olissa's Filke version, which is pretty neat too. And we even got, let's see here. Okay, we don't have any more of them. We have one work in progress one. But anyways, we got a little upgraded version of the submarine. We got the Flygfisk Patrol Diver going strong there. So it's basically like shieldless designs of the previous ones. We got the carrier here, the Reed Class Mark IV. And the Reed Class Mark IV, that's basically a little bit cheaper version of the Mark III with no shields and stuff like that, so it's actually less good. But you know, we have to name them properly. Let's go there. Now this one gotten into the water, unfortunately, so I guess we'll need to help it out because I spawned it there. But we have the Flygfisk. No, this is the balloonfish, I'm so sorry. This is the Explorer Mark IV. So this is a little bit upgraded, actually. This is much better than the previous one. It even has a little propeller. It not only relies on sails, it has missiles, so it's much more heavily armed. And it's, well, a little surveillance balloon, which probably should be put in the main fleet for the Nether campaign as well. We got the upgraded version of our Type A fighter. So it's a big wooden fighter that has gotten a facelift, you could say, with some nice decorations and, well, adhering to the rules. I also took one of our best fighters in the Trials Season 1. By the way, Trials Season 2 is coming soon. It's gonna be a real simple challenge, more about that later. But I took the beautiful Mantawar by Matros Kovrax in the army of Gmodism, and this was absolutely brutal, super strong design. I have been looking forward so much to use this design in the library, where we just spawn a bunch of the send a bunch of this to like attack bomb somewhere. That would be beautiful. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. But in any case, Kovrax made an absolutely beautiful design out of this. It looks amazing, and all I did was adapt it so it would adhere to the rules and be basically only wood, so it would be super cheap for me to make. Right. I made a service droid adaptation of the observer drone, the state trooper. So this is basically a repair and rearm version of it. It carries material and it can repair and fix stuff. That's basically the difference. It doesn't have shields. Yeah, very nice. And we got a little version of our helicopter as well. And this is the Chopper Mark III to be specific. Also, they have their own little adaptation here. They got their own version of the of our little fighter here. I should actually put the Officer Mark II versus the Officer Mark I and see which is best, because it uses a different strategy. I'm not entirely sure which one is best, but this thing actually contains sticky flares instead of chaff to confuse radar. So it has active decoy system instead. So yeah, we need to put them against each other. Not really worthy to display, but this is the work in progress mobile base for the Great Library campaign. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, Officer Mark I from the Constabulary peacekeeping force versus this the Officer Mark II, which is from the Great Library. I guess we can just spawn them both and see which will... Oh. Well, that's fast. Well, the original wins. Ooh, I think they banned EMP. EMP is great against small aircraft. Well, now we know. So that's basically the 5th chapter Intergalactic Industrial Expedition Force. You know what? They hated the name. I can understand that, but I like long names. So, last but not least, obviously, we got the 2nd chapter. Yeah, 2nd chapter Frontier Fleet. I know that. I guess I just can't speak, you know? I had a little bit of a hiatus on recording, so I think I probably lost my ability to speak somewhat. In any case, the 2nd chapter Frontier Fleet will need to find some deeper water, man. This is like shallow. This will not... It can be funny. It's gonna be funny. We can spawn it here anyways. Well. Look at the poor thing. This is the broadsword battleship. It's really tall. It's really low tech. It's not one of my most recent Minimax designs, and it's mostly made to look decent, which I think it does. It needs to go somewhere, however, for it to stay at a nice, pleasing level. Now, we didn't spawn that in our own fleet, so that's a little bit unfortunate that we don't get the exact colors that we use, but it's pretty cool. It uses broadside, a lot of broadside cannons, not like a lot, like a lot. And obviously, even though they're many and small together, they deal some decent damage. Probably would be pretty easy to take out with interceptors, but whatever. Most in-game craftons have interceptors. And yes, this thing is bad, but yeah, it will actually work decently enough against many of the in-game designs, so that's nice. Then we have the Aerobics Mark II. Mark I is deleted. This is a jet fighter that is pretty good, to be honest. It moves so janky, it's really hard to hit. It usually wins against many of similarly priced Steel Strider designs, and definitely works against the Deepwater Guard. Now, I'm not super happy with the design of it anymore, because I kind of upgraded or changed my style at least. You may think this is cooler, I don't know. It's up to you. But it's pretty... it works. Then we have the funny Filke class destroyer from the Filke battles, which is a super funny design, because this thing will actually jump up and down when incoming fire is coming there. Compared to many of the participants in this little mini challenge, it's of course really bad. A lot of you Gmodists out there, you are so much better. on building stuff than me, and I'm happy for that, because then we have really cool challenges we can make with cool designs you submit that are just so much better than whatever I put out there. Yeah, so the Filke was a wooden boat, and the challenge was basically make it decent, and people did. We got two versions of the chopper, the Mark II, which is anti-naval, and the Mark I, which is anti-air. Different configurations, they're very similar, but they basically have different setups. The anti-naval version here, obviously, has torpedoes, and the anti-air doesn't, you know. It has anti-missile missiles. And no, anti-aircraft missiles, AA missiles. Oh, and one of our good old battle participants, the Draconia. My first battleship that were made to be half decent. It's half laggy, that it is. Half decent can be discussed, but it holds up. It holds up. Naturally, it will, obviously, deal with all of the in-game crafts that I tested it on. Maybe some new have came that are better, but it obviously delivers great result against the in-game stuff. It's described as a killer baby seal for obvious reasons. It is equipped with a not so good APS, some really scary laser systems, and some really funny like interiors. It's like a mini city on top of it. A little bit inspired by Philip Reeve. I think his worlds are super cool. If you don't know who Philip Reeve is, Google Mortal Engines. Yeah. To spice things up, we're gonna spawn a paddle gun. Because paddle gun is funny. Well, in any case, we're gonna continue to spawn in some stuff here. Oh, this will be unfair. Well, whatever. I made, for fun, I just thought, why not make the broadsword fly? So I did. I made it fly. And it does. This is the broadsword air battleship. I think it looks pretty neat, actually. I'm very happy with the looks of this thing. As it's a naval variant, it's not great by any means, but it does what it's supposed to do, which is look pretty neat. And I'm particularly happy with like having onboard engines like this that are just there to look neat. Yeah, I think it's nice. I think paddle gun died, unfortunately. Well, we have the crossbones in the background instead. I'm guessing crossbones will do short work against the air battleship. And while we're at that, we're going to continue to show the second chapter from Chairfleet. These are missiles for another submission you'll see in a moment. Balloonfish Mark III. You saw the Mark IV, so this is basically the bare bones version of it. Now, I don't know why it does acrobatics in air. Oh, it's too far high up in the air. Yeah, it's not set to go that high, so it will just fall until it reaches a nice altitude. So yeah, the Balloonfish Explorer is not great for seasick or like, I don't know, airsick. How to say that anyways? Yeah, I don't know. Roller coaster sick people, or well, enlisted in the army of Gmodism it would be. Which you should be. If you're not enlisted in the army of Gmodism, you can simply go to our Discord and apply the role, and you'll join the army there. And if you basically want to be an officer in the army of Gmodism, well, Patreon is there for you. And we should actually, while spawning in the subby anti-surface, which is a really sad thing to look at, so we're gonna continue on spawning something else. The Carver class hydrofoil, obviously, because that's what we built for Lieutenant Cravey. So that's fitting. Anyways, huge thanks to Commodore Owen, Captain Sebastian Dode, Captain Shiro, Lieutenant Ant-O, Lieutenant Cravey, Lieutenant Floros Dragon, Lieutenant Joseph Vyshkovsky, Lieutenant Parberg Reed, Lieutenant Vincent Veritas, Lieutenant Rick Pearl, and Lieutenant Scooby Rocks. Thanks a lot for your continued support. It really helps me a lot, because the income from our supporters, be it decommissioned officers in the army of Gmodism, or if you're watching this video as a YouTube member, you're in the ecclesiarchy, all of you that are helping, and of course the government of Gmodism that nobody joined yet, so that's you know, but it helps a lot because it keeps the continual like expenses the channel has to pay up. We obviously need some services to make it all fit together, and the homepage and all of that stuff, and to stream I obviously need better internet, and all you supporters help me keep this thing going really well, so thanks a lot. Man, but the air battleship is no joke. Obviously it's not great against anything that will shoot at it very effectively, but just because it's kind of bad, it's also kind of big. It's 1.2 million, so it's no joke. It's no joke. Ooh, and here we have the Metropolis Interceptor, which I made very recently when I just started to build, and I realized, how small can we make a fighter? So this thing is, to be exact, this large. If you look at the blocks without all the fancy stuff, it's this big. So it's kind of small, as you can see, and I think it runs pretty well, to be honest. It's nice. I like this thing. I'm very happy with it, and it will be uploaded to the workshop pretty soon as well. It's also 2.8A materials, so much cheaper fighters you won't find. Do remember that most of that cost is actually the small missiles. If we remove the small missiles, actually, let me do that. Get over here. Ugh. Oh, by the way, if you looked at the aerobics here, you can see this thing is 220 square meters big in effectiveness, and it's 21 meters long, costs 8,000. That was my previous tiny fighter. Now this thing is just 19 square meters, so you can see this is like a tenth of the volume, and it's less than, it's like more than 2 times, it's like half the length as well. Yeah, so that's fun. And I'm going to upload that to the workshop soon as well, so you can get this little beautiful thing. And I'm actually gonna make an even smaller fighter plane, because I can do that if I just utilize my breads and use a jet fighter type of setup instead. So I'm gonna see if we can make it even smaller. But removing the what's this now? Oh, that's the detection. Okay, that's all. If we remove the missile system, it costs 800 materials. So yeah, it's cheap. And here you got the Flygfisk, which is well, not made cheaper or adapted to any rules. This is the proper Flygfisk, built for Lieutenant Astera some time ago, which is a patrol diver. So it's a patrol boat, but it also flies up in the air and it dives down again. So it's kind of both a aircraft and a watercraft. And why does it do this? Because it's a fun idea. It also happens to avoid a lot of missiles and torpedoes. It's kind of safe from many of the types of missiles. It's very few people that set up missiles that are able to go in water and in air. And from all those other types of missiles, unless they're super fast and reaches it before it switches like medium, it's pretty safe. So that's cool. When it like goes upward, if missile follows it, they will just end up in space. And if its missiles follow it when it is underwater, well, then they will just get lost in the water and despawn. And Flygfisk is of course flying fish in Swedish, if you were wondering. Well, the Reed class light cargo cruiser we looked at before, and the Reed class is actually built for our commander, which that was some good time ago, however. So I'm very sad, but I have to check up. I have to remember the name too as well. Yeah, so it was. We made it for Commander Ayak the Boater. We built the Reed class. So Ayak the Boater was a commander, and we built this beautiful thing. And this is a little bit upgraded version, however. And it's pretty strong. I like it. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that design. Another design I'm very happy about, but I'm not happy with the performance. That is the Fred. So we built the Fred actually for Scooby Rocks. Scooby Rocks was a long time ago a captain before he became an admiral and then a lieutenant. So basically, if you are in the army of Gmodism at a lower tier, if you jump up and join a higher tier, you will get the higher tier's rewards. So you can like jump up and get rewards, and obviously if you have a higher tier and then jump down, you won't get that rewards of that tier automatically, because that's like not very practical for me. Then it's like less support and more work for me, and if people upgrade, it's more support but more work, which is fair. Anyways, to keep things not too long-winded, Scooby Rocks was the captain and wanted something to beat the stronghold. So I made a Fred. The Fred has a very cool setup with a lot of engines underwater. It's so adapted to take on the stronghold specifically. And even though it only costs 700k, it could defeat the stronghold, even though the stronghold was twice as expensive. Yeah, so it has a very cool weapon system set up to deal with the stronghold, in particular lambs. It's keeping itself pretty safe against basically anything the stronghold threw at it. Thing is, however, the stronghold got upgraded. So now the stronghold is much more formidable and like uber scary. So it doesn't beat the stronghold anymore. The stronghold is also more expensive. Anyways, this is the first ship we actually used the Vigoletta marksman cannon on, which is you probably heard me talk about in the Gimli videos. We already basically took a look at that, but here we have the Croquette, and it's a light, little rigid airship. We got some helium tanks inside of here, so that's why it's a lighter than airship. We got some sails hidden too, to provide some propulsion, and we got some engines. And the engines that are on top of this are like tiny. They basically take no materials to run. So it's a pretty slow airship, but it's also extremely cheap. This thing is 12,000, and it carries diff guns, some lighter armaments, and yeah, it's not a heavy investment. It's not a big battle thing, but it looks amazing, and that's the main reason for building it. Or I mean, you can think what you want. I think it looks really cool, but I don't know. A lot of other builders make so much cooler stuff. So for the season 1 of the trials, we got this beautiful pigeon that wasn't very good, however. So the pigeon was made by Scuvimation, our matros, and basically it looked amazing and performed so poorly. So we both actually made our different versions of the pigeon. This is the utility version of the pigeon, so it has some light armaments, but it's mainly a utility ship. And this thing, look at this. I absolutely love this little matros sitting here and reading on the phone. Yeah, some fun Easter eggs. A utility ship, and then I made my version of the pigeon, which is the barbecue pigeon. This is a combat airship that uses a lot of flamers. It's not even cheap, and it burns hard. Yeah, so both of these actually will be uploaded to Steam Workshop as well. I already made some art to display them there by my new template. Oh, and this is the aesthetical winner of the Slabman challenge. So the Slabman was a really bad ship, and I wanted it to be upgraded. So Setup, aka E-Lord that made the Turtle Lord, made this beautiful stridsjacht, and it's absolutely amazing. I even made it into a desk mat, which anyone can get if they want to by a blueprint style. But in any case, or I didn't do it, Kevin did it, so thank him very much, because that was amazing. It looks awesome. Anyways, this is a 1 million ship that's looking really great. It didn't win the combat, but it did win a lot of, it did win the aesthetical part of the competition. And obviously, this is also where Setup designed so many assets in AOG style, like the cupboards and stuff, which we have used on other areas as well. Isn't this nice? It's very nice. And these little diff guns we also have on the Gimle. They are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's so nice. I hope Setup will do some more cool stuff from the depth in the future. I think he's taking a little break. This thing has so many decos and so many details. It's absolutely amazing, and I know Setup was a little bit frustrated with reaching the deco limit, because you can see here, if you try to add some more decos, you can't. And it even has this little aquarium of this the rat from the Deepwater Guard inside of it. It's just too funny. Well, anyways, it's absolutely amazing. What can we say? Huge thanks to Setup for sending in this beautiful design. It really is gonna be like the base or the flagship of the fleet, where we're going to sit when we do the campaign. We're gonna exist on it. So maybe less glamorous, but here we just have the Type A attack plane, the original version. So yeah, a little not as cool as the one we just looked at a little while ago. Here we have a, whoops, I'm not sure it can spawn inside of there. Oh yeah, it can. I actually provided balloons for it. This is a hover tank. It's a flying heavy armor brick that does hover tank things. It has a burst railgun, so that's cool. It doesn't have a great evasion, however, so I don't know, it's old. Then we have the bolster repair and rearm. This is a very fast little transport hydrofoil. This was our build for Lieutenant powered by greed. So it was some time ago, but it is a very awesome little ship or little hydrofoil that will just deliver goods very, very quickly. I tried to set up the AI very carefully to not collide and stuff, but it doesn't work. It kind of collides in stuff anyway sometimes, so that's not great when it goes too close to stuff. I guess we'll have to be careful when we use this in game, or we'll have to set it up in some different way. Maybe we can make bread save us. I don't know. You can get this as a like a lot of these designs you can get on the workshop by however. So go into gmodism.com and just click your way to the workshop. Here we got the Lytepost, the Raider Outpost made by Captain Y, because he wanted to make something for the army of Gmodism at a time. So it's a beautiful little station that basically, I never thought you could do this, but it basically uses a big like snooper, or what is it called? What are these called? Antennas. The strategic antennas. So they're just placed with like one block down, 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 and they just naturally make this beautiful shape. So that was absolutely super smart of Captain Y to make there. Yeah, it looks amazing. It's a, well, Raider Outpost to remove fog of war. So that's the only structure we have right now officially. And here is another thing that Captain Y wanted to construct for the AOG, which is the beautiful big transport system. This is the almost 200k head mod class, which is a hydrofoil with a big like tunnel with propellers in the middle that holds, like, how much does it hold? I don't remember. 7 million materials. Yeah, this thing can basically on its own carry materials to build, what is it? 3 Gimli class? Yeah, it's pretty big. Anyways, it's pretty cool because it even spawns missiles, torpedo or cruising missiles basically, that contains nuclear weapons if any enemy is coming there. So that's a bit fun. Then we have the Sea Age Minuteman. So this is made by powered by Greed actually for the Slabman challenge, and this was the winner of the performance part, I believe it was. So this is quite decent in performance. It's a cram version, and it does look so much better than the Slabman. It looked terrible, the Slabman. Yeah, it did. The Reed class Mark III we already looked at, and lastly on the list is obviously the Gimli class. You can see a little picture. That's from when I measured the Gimli, so that's a bit fun. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Marauders long roundabout. Well, I think you've seen the Gimli class before, and we did take a little look at it previously as well, but that is our fleets and forces. Well, and there we basically have it. We checked through all of our fleets and forces in the army of Gmodism right now. So now you know what forces the army of Gmodism has, and a lot more is in the making. Maybe I should go through my ongoing projects folder if you want to. I don't know. In any case, we just spawned 2 crossbones to keep it a little bit interesting here while we end this little video. And do check out their homepage so that I know what you think about it, and tell me if there are any improvements to be made, or well, frankly, what do you think about it? I didn't get inspiration for the design's navigation or anything like that. I just basically made it all up. So it would be interesting to see or hear what people think about it or think. In any case, huge thanks for watching, and do stay tuned. If you would like to like this video and maybe even share it somewhere, I will be very happy. And big thanks to all of you that are supporting the channel right now. Well, the government, maybe right now we have someone there. The ecclesiarchy, Twitch subs on there, and as commissioned officers. In any case, this is your host, Eric of Gmodism, and I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. That's our fleet.